Salam alaikum, alaikum salam. I hope everybody's well. Alafia. I hope everybody's doing great. Just wanted to throw some advice out there, stuff that's been going on and been going around and stuff like that. Even in Africa, Cuba, many other places, a lot of letters are coming up that deities are speaking up and saying about the mixture. Don't mix traditions. You cannot mix traditions, make up traditions. When you're doing your ritual, you have to make sure you're saying the proper incantation and stuff like that. That came out, and it's very important for you to know what you're doing and study. And most importantly, do not mix things. I know there's a confusion out there about the mixing with the Catholic saints and this and that. That was from the slavery time. The slavery time they had when the Africans came into the islands. For instance, one of them, Cuba. They had no choice but to keep the secret alive, and that's why we get more stuff when we get crowned or we get our initiation to Gariyosha or whatever the case may be. So those slaves used to hide Chango behind Santa Barbara, Chum behind La Santísima Cara de Cobre, stuff like that. And also, they will use the cross, this and that. They will use those to be able to mask their true spirituality. If not, they will get in trouble and whatever the case may be. So we're not in those times no more. You got to understand that. So you got to wash all that other stuff away and keep it the way it was traditionally. You know what I mean? They coming up in different letterings, especially in Africa and stuff like that. If you further look into this subject, you'll see that it's out there. Guys, in this new year, you cannot mix things, make things up. You have to stay closest to the root that you can. That's why it's very important before you get into anything that you study. Study as much as you can for you could get an idea of what you're getting yourself into, and if there's something funny being involved, whatever the case may be. What else? Same thing with Mayombe. Mayombe, they're mixing it up, Orisha, this, that, 21 division. They're mixing it all into Palomonte thing, and that kind of stuff is going to create blockages. It's going to not only blockages, but it also water down the tradition, that the true secrets and way of working it starts fading away, and then what we got is just a bunch of nonsense. So it's very important that if you get into this, it's your responsibility. All right, even if your godfather's not doing it, but it's your responsibility to make sure that your actions when working with the deities and stuff like that is correct. If not, it could bring negative outcome and stuff like that. So be very careful with that, and don't rush into things. You know what I mean? That's the worst thing you could do. But basically, this video, my son was talking to me about it as well, and I was looking up on it or whatever, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should put this out there. You know what I mean? Because there's too much negativity and gossip and all that stuff, but there's no teaching being involved. You know what I mean? So everybody's gonna be stuck in the same circle if they just keep blabbing back and forth at each other, instead of educating and helping the other man for a woman to a direction of going the correct way with these rooted paths of African traditions and such. Just be very careful with that, and you'll see the difference, and this is something that you could feel. If you don't feel what you got, there's nothing there, you know what I mean? But you have to build your relationship with it and whatnot. But yeah, definitely don't mix one thing with the other. Try your best to filter it out. Learn how to say the words correctly. Learn how to work the space without mixing anything up. So if you work in Ocha, you work in Ocha. If you work in Palo, you work in Palo. If you work in 21 division, you work in 21 division. There's none of that mixing and stuff like that. I even seen one Oba scratching when they're shaving the head, say La Caria de Cobre. No, you don't say Caria de Cobre, because that's not the correct deity that you call it on. That's just a mask, something that was put from way in the past, but they can't tell that they work in the African roots and whatever the case may be. So none of that. Everything that you do has to be within anything and everything correctly to do with that tradition that you're doing there, whatever spirituality you're doing. So make sure to do things right, like that you have the right outcome. If you have spiritual items that you receive, if you don't feel them, something is not right. You know what I mean? Study as much as you can, because these traditions are not about lighting a candle, making a lamp, and stuff like that. It's way more. It's medicine. It's so it helps you in the way of life. It protects you, helps you become a better man, a better woman. You know, we just all grow, you know, and keep the good character and keep it moving. All this back and forth stuff and attacking and stuff like that is not doing nothing but making the tradition look like a circus. And there's a lot of misconceptions being said from many different angles of things to do with the Ocha, things to do with the Palo. It's just sad and bit aggravating for those that are really about this, you know what I mean? But yeah, just it's up to you. It's up to you to make sure you study, get an idea of what you're getting yourself into, you know, investigate, whatever the case may be, on your own. Because if you ask anybody something, they're always gonna, of course, they're gonna put the other person down, whatever the case may be, because they want your money or they think they're doing something big by doing that. I don't know. It's just retarded ass emotions people do and whatnot. So just remember, always stay focused, stay in a straight line. It's the best of your ability, organization between your spirituality and your physical life and stuff like that. Any questions you have, let me know. If y'all want me to make a certain video about something, whatever the case may be, let us know and we'll be there for you. I just want to give you something, a direction for you have a path that you can walk that without being confused and stuff like that. And that's about it. I hope everybody is well. Salam alaikum wa alaikum salam. Soon I'll be doing the videos of doing spell works and stuff like that again. And until then, hope all is well. Ache.